Well, good morning, everyone. I have a special treat today, and that is that I'm walking with Lindsay Best, who is, I'm going to let her tell you what her role is, but she works for the Land Conservancy in San Luis Obispo County, and she has a very special history, and I want you to hear all about it. So, first of all, Lindsay, just tell us what your role is with the Conservancy.
I am the Facilities and Grounds Maintenance Supervisor for the Conservancy, and I take care of the historic Octagon Barn in San Luis Obispo, and I take care of Kathleen's Canyon Overlook.
Which is where we are right now.
Yeah. Which is a beautiful community park / open space where people can interact with the dune ecosystem. And I help at the Pismo Preserve and all of the properties that we own outright. That's my role in the Land Conservancy.
Nice. Well, so I have the feeling that a lot of people really don't know what the Land Conservancy does. So could you give us just a snippet of what the Conservancy is all about?
Sure. The Land Conservancy, our goal since 1984 is to set aside and protect land and create open spaces and wildlife corridors. And we do that through a couple of routes. We do conservation easements with local ranches. So the ranch will set aside a chunk of their property and agree that it will never be built on, a road will never go through it, it can never be built in any way. And so in our county, we have 65,000 acres that are conserved.
Wow.
Through conservation easements. And then the other part is we own properties outright. So this would be Kathleen's Canyon Overlook and the associated Black Lake, which is a dune lake, and the Pismo Preserve, the Octagon Barn. So in total, we own 5,000 acres outright, and our stewardship team takes care of all of that.
Wow. Well, I have the feeling that people think of California as all about development, and we're all about putting up the next high-rise and commercial building, and this is just a breath of fresh air to know that there is an organization that actively works to conserve against that type of development.
Sprawl. Yes, absolutely. That is one of our goals. So we have conservation easements between SLO and Morro Bay, and between SLO and Los Osos. And so San Luis Obispo will never touch Los Osos, will never touch Morro Bay. There will always be chunks of land set aside that will not be developed because of our conservation easements.
Yeah, wow, that's great. Well, I know you have a little bit of an interesting history as to how this passion for nature and all things natural came about. So could you tell us a bit about your background?
Sure. When I moved to San Luis Obispo in 2012, I was just fascinated by I moved from Southern California. We're talking about that urban sprawl. That is quintessential urban sprawl. So when I moved to San Luis Obispo, I just was fascinated with the open spaces and would go hiking with my children and loved all of the plants and all of the fungi. And so I just started studying. And I started learning and growing and spent many years learning about different habitats and different plants. And so now with the Land Conservancy, I can put that to use. And
what was your background before that?
Before that, I was in EMS. I was an EMT on ambulance and also in an emergency room.
Oh my goodness.
So very divergent. And so now with the Land Conservancy, I get to apply that knowledge that I've gained, and I get to do restoration projects, hand collect seed from our sites, and then return those local genetics to the site. So we always kind of try and keep the plant genetics the same on site, and so we've been doing that by hand collecting seed, scattering seed, and we'll be doing some planting projects with seed that we grow.
Wow. Yeah. So you're hand collecting seeds so that you can scatter them before the rains.
Yes. Wow. Or we grow them on and plant them during that rainy season.
Okay. Good. Well, one last question, and that is, what is one thing that just the run-of-the-mill citizen here in the county can do to help protect our environment?
I would say if you have children, teach them about our environment, engage them in our environment, get them passionate about it, and that's really important for the next generation to learn, to care, interact with the environment, but also the leave no trace principle is very, very important. So be cognizant of what you're doing as you're moving through our open spaces, and really bring others into your passion. Invite them along on hikes, and teach them what you know.
Great, good. Well, thank you so much. This has been enlightening for me. It's been great to meet you. My husband Ross works with Lindsay and does some work here at Kathleen's Canyon Overlook, right? Yeah, so we're going to just flip around and take a look over the canyon.